Look at him in there, that little old hat he's got, little hat. He thinks he looks cool. Look at him in there, that little old hat. Well, good evening, folks. I tell you, it's raining like crazy, on and off. This is a front from a tropical storm. It's hitting the Florida coast there. And this is just stuff coming off of it. Cold this morning. It's 55 degrees, or this evening. Windy. I tell you, my intentions was to catch some crappie today. But it's too windy, and it's going to be windy for 3 or 4 days. So I went and caught me some live crawfish. Let's do that from the bank, see if we can catch a couple good fish. The wind is from the east, but I'm not really concerned about that because the front's just now laying on top of us. Let's talk a little bit about equipment right here. I'm going to be using, the rod's going to be an ACC crappie stick. It's 8 feet long, folks, and I have on this reel, and this is a vintage reel, it's a Zebco Cardinal 4, and on it I have it loaded with 14-pound test red Cajun line. Okay, now with live crawfish, I don't never ever use weight, never, when I'm fishing from the bank. Only a hook, and there's a lot of different kind of hooks that'll work, but you'll lose a lot of these hooks out here fishing around rip routes, which I like to do in the fall. This is a size 1 eagle claw bait holder hook, and you don't have to have a bait holder hook, you can just have a live bait hook, but it doesn't matter, either one. It's not going to interfere with catching any fish. And let's rig one of these crawfish up for those of you who's new to the channel and never seen anything about live crawfish. Let's rig one up, and I'll show you the best way that I know how to do it to keep this tiny lobster alive. All right, here's one about 3 inches long. This is a little bitty rubber band. It's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. You can get them at the dollar store, Wally World, oh my goodness, drugstore, y'all know. But this size crawfish right here, I'm gonna take this rubber band and twist it like that and slip over his pinchers. Now if he was bigger, which I've got some big ones, I go around him without twisting the rubber band, but I want it tight, real tight. Okay, after you get that done, I always face my hook towards the tail. I'll slip it up under those 2 pieces of rubber band right there that we made and face it towards its tail. And the reason I do that is because a bass, I hit this crawfish from either direction that he can. He'll pick him up, he'll turn him in his mouth and swallow him tail first. So see, that hook is right there, right ready to hook him right in the roof of the mouth. Or most of the time it'll hook him right in the top part of his mouth on the roof, but we're gonna get him on in here. Now the water depth right here is probably around 3.5 or 4 foot, but we've got this east wind blowing straight into this rip wrap, so I figure these fish are pretty tight to these rocks. And as y'all can see, the water's real dingy. It's because of all this wind that we had last night. But I'm gonna put him out there. I'm gonna let him go to the bottom, but I'm gonna control this crawfish, because if I don't, he'll flip his tail and he'll get in a rock that quick and you'll lose him. You'll break off. That's just a natural instinct to get wedged up in a rock. How they know they're there, I don't know, but they do. But I'll just keep him nourished out of those rocks like that. And what I'm watching for is a thump. And that's all it'll be. It'll be a thump. But what I'm going to do is just work a small area, move down or move up, and just repeat that. So we're not fishing for schooling fish, we're fishing for individuals. That's just relating to this rip route. There he is. Oh boy. Cutting up. Seriously cutting up. He's acting like another drum, folks. He is. Not acting like a bass at all, but sometimes you can't tell. Depends. He's way up the underway. Yeah. There he is. In Louisiana, they call them goos. Jasper goos. Right now, as much as I love to fish, folks, I call them aggravating. Now I'm after a bass fish. Now, when these fish hit a crawfish, they end up, what they do is they just haul buggy. I mean, real quick. But a small bass will too, one of about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. They act the same way, so it's hard to tell exactly. There's an old Jasper goo right there, or drum fish. I believe up north they call them sheephead. But we're gonna let him go right here. That was a good fight. Y'all ready, folks? Let's get it. Oh, man. There we go. There's my target species, finally. He ain't a real big one, but he's a pretty fish. I tried to tell myself that east wind don't have anything to do with it, but y'all know as well as I do that it does. I'm having a tough time out here trying to catch a fish, but that's a quit. Stop it. But that's a Coosa River spotted bass right there. He's probably about close to 2 pounds. Finally give me a chance right here to catch him. Where's my pliers at? Got him right in the roof of the mouth. 9 times out of 10, that's what'll happen when you position that hook that way towards the tail. But hey, I'm tickled to death. Let's let him go. There he goes. Let's catch another fish. There, Elmo. Well, I was wrong. It's not a bigger fish. But usually a bigger fish will do that right there. They'll inhale that crawfish and stay put. Excuse me. Quit. Stop it. Now look how that crawfish is positioned. Same thing, tail first. And that hook got him right in the roof of the mouth. Come here, Rod. You're making me dizzy. Still a healthy fish, though. I'm not going to complain about that. Never complain about your fishing. But yeah, right in the roof of the mouth. Right there. There he goes. Yep. I'm just walking and probing that crawfish. Hard to, now I tell you, it's difficult to keep that crawfish from hanging up. But as soon as he makes contact, folks, lift your rod back up. If you don't, he'll flip his tail and he'll get right up under a rock. And a lot of times you can't help it. You're going to lose them. But it's a good way to fish. I tell you, it's a big fish way of fishing. Even though we hadn't caught a big one, if that crawfish comes by a big one, we'll catch him. Quit. That thing's still trying to pinch me. I disarm these crawfish. I want y'all to know that's a pretty big one right there. I cut that pivot claw off just like that, but I like to leave the claws on. I believe I get more bites. And the reason is when that fish comes up on that crawfish, he'll throw them pinchers up in the fence, and a bass just can't stand it. But let's put him on back down there. That's a big crawfish, but that's about the same size as that small spotted bass hit. You'd think that'd be worth a 5 or 6 pounder. Now, if there's one there, I'm gonna work from right here back that way, that little curve right here. But if there's one there, he'll grab it. I'm keeping that crawfish on the bottom. Let's see, right there it's on the bottom, and I'm gonna pick it up. See, he tried to hang up right there. That's in their nature. He just wants to hang up and get into something so bad. So it's a little aggravating to fish like this, but sometimes it can pay off for a big fish. There's a fish. Oh, me. Now this is in deep water. Reckon what we got, folks. There he is. Can't tell how big he is because he's deep. I changed. It's a good spot. Not a real big one, but this water's deep right here. I changed from shallow rip route to a bluff type thing. It quit raining. That fish right there hitting about 14 feet of water. This bluff is straight off right here. So I figured I might as well try some different stuff right here. Got him hooked right in the side of the jaw. He ain't very big. I figured when I got that bite, that was a big crawfish. Right here, I'm gonna pick one out of here and show y'all how big of a crawfish he hit. I should have done that, but I wasn't for sure if there's any fish in here that deep, but that fish was deep. Let's see. Right, that crawfish I was using was that big. Right there. You can see that's how big that crawfish was right there. That fish bit. So I figured I had a big fish. Well, let's let him go. Come on back. That's sort of a small crawfish, but look at them pinchers. Now he's ready. I'm gonna put him right there. Let him fall straight down. The water right here is about 5.5 or 6 feet deep. 5.5, 6 feet deep. I'm gonna let him go to the bottom. As soon as he makes contact, I'm gonna pick him back up. And I'm holding him right off the bottom and letting him fall right off, and then pick it back up. Let him fall back. You got to keep that crawfish moving. If you don't, he'll find a place to hide. That's what's aggravating about fishing with them like this, but it can be productive. There's fish. Or I think my line's moving off, folks. Yeah, got him. Now if I can keep him out of that brush pile. If that's a bass, he's a good one. Or a pretty good fish. Best one I've caught so far this evening. Yeah, it's a largemouth. Look at there. I'm at my favorite place to do this right here. If you can catch the fish in here, you can catch the fish. That fish is barely hooked. It's a pretty good largemouth. I've been having to move and move quick here lately. And there he is. Largemouth. I love him crawfish too. Take a look at him right here. Nice one. I thought he was a little bit bigger than that. Now you can see I'm fishing a tree right here on a point. Let's let this fish go. Slip him back. He went in between the rocks there. He's trying to hide. He'll get out of there. But I'm fishing a tree right here, tree and rocks. Of course, y'all know it's nothing but a magnet when it comes to bass. Alright folks, we made it back. I didn't catch Moby Dick, but I tell you, this method of fishing with live crawfish, by putting just a simple rubber band around that crawfish, is the ticket. It'll keep that crawfish alive. I don't care where you hook a crawfish. I've tried it everywhere on a crawfish. They get weak real quick. And that right there will keep them alive long enough to get a strike. Today wasn't a good day to fish at all. With a front and then bluebird skies and a little more cloud cover on and off like that, I've never caught a lot of fish under them kind of conditions. But we still caught a lot of fish by using this method. I don't like to do this over about twice, 3 times a year, but when the conditions warrant this style of fishing, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I enjoyed it today. And I want to thank y'all very much for all the great comments, being there with me on the water, enjoying the sport as much as I do. Thank y'all very much for watching. Hey, dog. It's cold out. And remember,